Hello, everyone. Welcome to Save The Gameboy, a podcast all about Nintendo and what's going on with Nintendo under Save The Game Media. My name is Brandon, as you usually know. If you're continuing to watch or if you're new, hey, welcome. Thanks for checking me out. Thanks for checking things out. I want to go over a bunch of things today about the Switch 2 accessories. Glad I waited for this video, considering that tariffs changed a little bit and Nintendo pulled back on the veil of pricing and what's going to change. So we know the Switch system is going to be the same price as they originally advertised, as well as the same with the games. So we're going to be looking at a little bit more along the lines of what our accessories and other things are going to look like. Somebody on Reddit was able to post this, which I'm grateful for since it makes it a lot easier for me to talk about these things and give directional highlights of what's going on. For the most part, I'm going to be trying to get the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle with Mario Kart World. Before I go any further, we are confirmed to have April 24th as our pre-order date for most available retailers. GameStop, Target, Walmart, Best Buy. Best Buy has not yet released what time they're going to be doing it, but I think they're going to stick with the 12 p.m. noon time that they had originally slated for the last 2 weeks ago. I'm excited for that, which it's going to be a great, absolutely great day for what we're looking at, for how we're going to be able to get these pre-orders. Hopefully, these are going to be getting into more of the hands of the gamers and the people that want them, rather than the scalping crowd, which are going to take a $500 product and mark that thing up to about $800, $900 for Christmas. We saw this with PlayStation. We saw this a little bit with Xbox during the pandemic, and a lot with the Switch during the pandemic, because people, for some reason, feel the need to overprice things that somebody that wants it could have had it, just to put money in their own pocket for no apparent reason. You could have saved that $500 in buying the system and put that towards something else instead of trying to scam somebody for an extra $300, because you already had $300. You made a $300 profit on something that you could have kept $500 on. I don't want to talk too much about scalpers. I've talked about them enough, and my personal disdain for that entire marketplace, because it drives up prices that are unnecessarily driven up. But if we look and judge at what we have for things here on Nintendo, our bundles are the same for the systems. Games are going to be the same prices as they are in the US. Some countries and some territories are going to have variable pricing for physical media versus digital media, which I know Nintendo is going to be trying to push more of a digital media medium. Which isn't that bad of a thing going forward, especially with how Nintendo wants to keep their libraries, allowing you to share digital cartridges with friends and family on your account, and share the download files so that you can play more easily with more people that are around. This is going to be great for PAX, as well as many other convention stages that are just going to be able to allow people to play more games together. And Nintendo's variable pricing based on quality of the game, so it's not directly based on their own IP, and it seems that games and third-party developers are going to be able to set their own pricing structure, so we could very well see $60, $70, and $80 games across the board, depending on the developer, the IP, and whatnot, what's been put into it. I think Mario Kart World sitting at $80 is something, it sounds scary, since everything else we're looking at is about $70 for PlayStation and Xbox. But I've been trying to bring up this point to a lot of people in my own personal life, as well as online. We pay for DLC packs. We pay for season passes. We pay for extra characters, extra maps, all that. What if this $80 is a $60 game with a $20 DLC pack already added in? Nintendo's going to want to support Mario Kart World through the future, so it could be taking the model of Nintendo Switch Online with the expansion pass, gets you the Mario Kart World DLC for free at a later time, rather than here's a $15 track pass, which I can see them doing that option as well further down the road, but not something more immediate. Donkey Kong Bonanza at $70 is standard pricing. We'll see more things around this $70 price tag, which it sucks with inflation and everything else, that it's not really fun to look at. But let's get to the nitty gritty of what today's episode is about, and this is about the accessory pricing and changes. You can see here the Switch 2 Pro Controller, and a lot of things on this list are with a 4 instead of a 9. And that's because all of these accessories have only been changed by $5. It's disheartening that things had to take this type of change, but a $5 change or a $2, $3 change on the Joy-Con straps isn't that bad. It hurts to look at this through the eyes of everything else that's going on. Yes, I need a new pair of Joy-Cons. It's not going to cost me $90. It's going to cost me $95. That's extra tax added to it, and almost $100 for a controller. But I understand the technology they put into it. I understand why it's $45 for each controller, and you're going to be looking at a resale market that's going to lower that price and help people out when they buy too many or when they don't need it anymore. The charging grip, just our nice little middle piece, going up to $40 from $35 is what it is. Like, I hate to say that. The straps should be $10. That should not be changed at all. They're safety straps to make sure it's safe for you to hold them and not have a Joy-Con fly at the TV. The wheel set should have stayed at $20. It's just a piece of plastic that you put the controller in. It has no additional functionality. The camera, I can understand. $5 added to that. It's just a camera. The dock set being the 4K edition with the fan and the Ethernet port. Okay, $5-10 added to that. Fine. Understandable. But honestly, how many people are really going to be buying a second dock? Like, we can be upset about that price. We can be upset about it at $200. But how many people are really going to be buying more than just the dock you get with the system? It comes with the dock. We don't need to be buying another one unless you specifically need it for other houses. I bought a new dock for my son's Switch so he could have it connected to the TV at his grandparents' house. That's fine. I got that on eBay. This is just going to be something that's going to be knocked off and pushed out at a cheaper price, which I actually might not even be cheaper. It could be the same price, but it's going to be cheaper somewhere else. And you don't necessarily need that 4K bump. Like, the fans, I just want the Ethernet port. You give me another one with an Ethernet port for like $60, fine, I'll buy another one. The carrying case and screen protectors, that's the official Nintendo product. You will always find these things from third-party creators. An all-in-one carrying case, I would like to see what that entails, which I might be able to at another date, because we don't have it here. But $85 for a carrying case is a little ridiculous unless it comes with a bunch of extra stuff to go with it. The AC adapter to go with the dock, if you just need an AC adapter at $35, we're looking at this price for almost anything nowadays anyway. That's just what it is. It's a power adapter that uses a higher wattage, and the new iPhones don't come with power adapters. You have to buy that anyway. At least the Switch comes with a power adapter. This is you looking at it for an extra. You don't want to unplug it from your dock and take it with you. Understandable. And these Micro Express SD cards, this is the official Nintendo one at $60. SanDisk is going to be creating their own. They already have their line of Micro SD Express cards. They're going to be the same price, or they're going to be a little cheaper to undercut Nintendo, because this is a memory market, not Samsung working directly with Nintendo to make these devices. This is somebody else putting a name on something and slapping it on there so that you can just get what you need out of it. These are our accessories at the start. Honestly, we're going to see a lot of things. I want to jump on all-in-one carrying case. What is the Switch 2 all-in-one carry case? We're going to go directly to Nintendo to look at this monstrosity. So it allows you to take your dock. It allows you to take the Switch 2, the Joy-Cons, Pro Controller, charging dock, the midline piece, and then your straps and cables. That's great and all, but this is not worth $85. Like, I'm sorry I keep looking that way. I'm looking at my recording screen. But this is not worth $85. This is a camera case. You can buy this for $20 or $30 at Best Buy that's built for a digital SLR case. This is not... Nobody needs to buy this. This is silly. Up to 6 game cards? Yeah, you can hold up to 6 game cards. You can also use this little extra space right here as the game cartridge holster. Like, for Christmas, my son got me, I don't have it here, but it's a little Mario question mark block that opens up, and it holds like 20 games. I can put that in there. Not everyone's going to bring a Pro Controller with them. And if you have a Pro Controller, you might not bring this charging piece in the middle. There's so much more stuff you can put in this that you can also do with an SLR case. Like, let's just do a quick thing here. $40, go bag. Yes, these are silly because they are able to hold so many more lenses when you're talking about the SLR cameras. But, like, if we look at this one for $40 from Low Pro, you're going to see it has the same type of system. You have a modular pack. Look at that. You can fit everything in here with no problem. You can fit a Switch and keep it nice and snug on the side. You can keep your accessories and everything else on the other side. Cables and whatnot go over there. And look, I just saved you $40. But this is just a small example of what we're looking at versus direct Nintendo branding. Do you need it to advertise there is a Switch 2 in here? Or do you want something that says, oh, it might be a camera? Or just something else along the lines? Like, that thing is huge. It's holding the Switch straight up. So we know how wide it's going to be, and we know how thick it's going to be. So the thing's going to be gigantic. In terms of, I'm using this to carry everything for my Switch from A to B that I need. You don't need all of that to travel with you at all times. A regular carrying case for your Switch with a screen protector is just fine. And with everything being the same size, you might be able to fit the same accessories with the new Switch. Like, I'm looking forward to being able to use the Kirby case that I have and not need to buy another one specifically designed for the Switch 2. Because, God forbid, Nintendo built the system to be the same footprint, just a little bit larger. I might not be able to use it, but that's okay. Because you can always buy things that are different, third party. They don't have to be Switch branded. And we don't need to be upset with prices on games, because look at the experience and everything that we're getting with it. Especially with what we saw in Mario Kart World from the last Direct that Nintendo gave, where there are so many costumes for each character that you can unlock in-game by just going to a Yoshi food truck or a Yoshi food restaurant. You want that? Boom. You take your character, you set a marker, you go there, you get what you want for your character. And if you want to go for completionism, go get them all for everybody. I'm not going to stop you. I'm more than likely going to do that myself, because I want the fullest experience I can get out of this game. We're looking at price. We already looked at prices for the digital upgrades for the games. There's more and more information coming out every day about Switch 2 cartridges. There's an article I shared in the Discord that shows that some Switch 2 cartridges are going to work in a Switch 1. And those are most likely going to be the Switch 2 upgrade discs. Metroid Prime 4, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Kirby. People are going to be disappointed when they try to put Mario Kart World in a Switch 1. But That's up to them to try and decide, because the cartridges are the same. It's just you pay the little bit extra to get that Switch 2 compatibility and quality. So you can still buy Switch 1 cartridges without that need for that graphical bump if you feel okay with that, which I kind of do at some points. And we're getting more information about the GameCube controller as well, which is going to work with more Switch 2 games rather than just the GameCube virtual machine, which is really good information and a nice step for Nintendo to just admit, like, we made a mistake. Other than that, I'm excited for Thursday. I cannot wait to see if I can get this thing. I'm personally going to be at a Red Sox game with my son and my wife because it's going to be the first game that he gets to go to. It's a nice kids' day at Fenway Park, and if the weather permitting, I'm really hoping for good weather, he's going to be able to get to go out on the field and run the bases, which is huge for any kid who really enjoys baseball, especially for a baseball dad like myself. I cannot wait to take so many pictures and watch him do that. But I'm going to digress from my own personal life. I'm recording this on Easter, so happy Easter. Happy belated Easter to everybody else who's watching this. And let's do our best. Do what we can. Don't be a scalper. And let's get this Switch. Don't forget our Patreon, which we house extra shows that we do every other month. Also, you get podcasts a little earlier, because this can be turned directly into a podcast. You don't have to look at my backgrounds. You can just listen to my voice. Because I've been told this by some people that Boston is one of the better voices out there. We also have our Extra Life charity event going on. We have that going on throughout the year, but it culminates with us meeting in New York to do a nice 24-hour streaming event. We may be doing that again this year. We may not. That is depending on how we have particular plans. But even so, I can be here streaming. I can be here helping out, making sure we're doing what we're doing to help out these kids and help out these hospitals the best way that we can, by helping these kids get healthy. And I think we're good. Join our Discord. Talk to me. Talk to our other hosts. I usually like to get questions and concerns from our fans about what's going on with Nintendo. But the last couple weeks, I have not been able to answer any questions other than the giant fire that's been going on with Nintendo, tariffs, and the rest of the stuff that we're dealing with. Other than that, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and an awesome week.